Wichita. I'm Councilmember Bryan Frye, representing District 5 from Northwest Wichita. Welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. Today I'm joined with Reggie Perez, who's one of our supervisors in charge of keeping our streets clear during winter storms. Reggie, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So we want to talk a little bit about our snowstorms and what your department does to help us keep our streets safe. Tell us a little bit about what you do to prepare for winter storms.
Depending on what our forecasts usually are, sometimes we'll pre-wet the streets in a brining situation. Then we're always called in either off of like a standby, or if we know the storm's coming in, we'll come on in for that. And then we work in 12-hour shifts and just get our job done.
So there's a lot of stuff that goes into preparing for it. Like you said, pre-wetting the streets. What does that involve? What kind of mixture are you putting on the streets?
We have a brine mixture, which is salt water basically, and it goes in just before the storm would come in, as long as we have enough time to understand how far the storm is out.
So does the brine help the snow melt quicker, or does it keep it from freezing? What does it do?
Basically, it's just to help make sure that we don't have as much ice accumulation and that type of stuff, if that's what's called for. But as usual, with Kansas weather, you never know whether we're going to get rain before that ice or whatever it is before that.
Exactly. Yeah, we know that no winter storm is the same. They're all different. So that's why you have to have the different treatments.
Correct.
And to that end, that all goes beforehand. But once the storm hits, you guys don't stop. I mean, you can work 24 hours if necessary.
We're on 24 hours a day, almost 7 days a week if needed to be. So, yes, sir. And my hat's off to our crews. They do a wonderful job. The supervision is just a small part of what goes on. The true help goes from every single person that drives a plow truck.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think we have 65 different vehicles for plowing. So 5,100 lane miles. It takes a while. You can't get every road.
No. And we don't do any like side streets, if you will. It's always emergency and what we call secondary streets as well as schools, and that helps them
I think
get back
that's
to
important
class.
for people to understand. There's no way you're going to be able to clear every street.
No, we would not.
But we got to have it safe for emergency vehicles, for school buses, for transit, for people to be able to get to their jobs and so forth.
Exactly.
So what can we do as drivers when we see the snow plows and your crews out there working? What can we do to help you?
We'd love it if you guys would just take your time a little bit.
Absolutely.
And don't ever crowd us, basically. Be aware that we're trying to help everybody get there safely, and we'd like to get there safely as well. So
absolutely, and staying away from the vehicles because you're throwing sand and salt.
Yes,
right?
Not far, but it does get outside the realm of the truck itself. So yeah, it does help, and we don't want to get anybody's car messed up or anything like that. So.
Exactly. And then after the storm, how soon do we start clearing the sand and stuff off the streets?
That's actually a street cleaning deal, but usually it's within a day to 2 days, and then they do a wonderful job as well, trying to get everything back up off the street.
Yeah, well, I personally want to thank you and your team for, I think this last storm was an amazing job.
Thank you.
And I know our community appreciates that as well.
And we appreciate them as well.
Yeah, and when I see your crews out at Quick Trip, I usually buy them a cup of coffee or something as a thank you.
Well, that's more appreciated than you'll ever know, too. Thank you very much for that.
I bet that. And thank you, Wichita, for watching this episode of City Spotlight. Have a great week.